help us all come together tonight and move forward for our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
So, first item on the agenda is the coach truck and its issues, and are we going to replace it, or what are we going to do? Lance has got us a couple of quotes from a couple different places. I know there's some questions in the community that people have asked of me, and probably some of you also. You know, what is wrong with the current truck? And I know the answer to this already. Somebody was like, well, why can't he just drive his own vehicle and do mileage? That's a liability issue. I don't think we can do that. So those are the main questions. So I think, you know, if we could just get for the record, I know we probably talked about this before, but since we're gonna vote tonight, what's wrong with the truck now?
What's wrong? Oh,
Well,
you want it from Lance or you want it from?
It's had a check engine light since I took over the position. I mean, we've had it reset just to make sure that the same stuff kept popping up. I mean, it's got a slew of issues. It's got a rough idle. Feels like the torque converter's slipping. Doesn't quite shift right from first to second. Outside of that, they're kind of known for, the 2.7s are known for some sort of issue. You'd have to ask Jeremy on it, but something with the lifters or something along that line. And he basically just kind of said we probably shouldn't really sink any money into it. We should probably just go ahead and get rid of it because it's probably going to become a problem down the line either way.
It wasn't properly maintained.
Yeah.
Well,
How many miles is on it?
Here-
26,000.
And so, sounds like, it's like it's on its last leg. A lot of things gonna become an issue.
okay, so here's what the industry is saying about that engine in that truck, okay? Industry is saying that that truck needs to have a, $10,000 tune-up every 100,000 miles. Okay, and it's at 120-something thousand. The problems with this truck is massive oil leaks. We've got turbo coolant line leaks. All of these are fittings and hoses that have to be replaced. Okay, then we got cam phasers. These are the things that give it the more power and everything, so they would have to be replaced. To the transmission, some of all these drivability problems may make the transmission feel bad, or the transmission may be bad, who knows? Okay, so the truck, in my mind, was probably not the best purchase when we purchased it. Okay, and I'm gonna be point blank about that, because we it kind of come up all of a sudden and hit us. So that's what I'm going to say about the truck, okay? Is the truck worth it? No, not at all.
Did they cost $5,000 to put a cam or something in it, and then that probably
Well,
might not even
to,
be what's
to
wrong
do
with it?
any work on it, you pull the cab off.
Well, no, this is, I think that's, and that
The
might not be-
cam phasers ain't, I mean, maybe 1,000, but then you got all these other issues that could pop back up. So I'm gonna say the truck is, for the most part, not worth fixing. Now, can we get anything, what's that?
We just paid $25,000 for that truck not too long ago.
I don't know what we paid
Is
for
that
it.
what they paid for it?
It-
Well, they traded in that car, whatever that
The
is.
Escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think 11-12 cash, so I don't know what they gave for the car.
Man,
It-
Another question was, somebody brought up to me was, do we need a truck, or can it be done with a car? I don't know. I would think the inspector needs a truck. I don't know.
technically it could, because Dan was doing it with a car,
An SUV or?
just an SUV, yes. But
It-
what,
It was being done with a Ford Escape.
yeah.
So what,
But what we're looking at right now is the whole snowplow thing is a big deal because we can't find anybody, we don't have anybody, right? to plow the,
I've not gotten any bids, no.
so if that's something that we can coordinate together and Lance is okay with plowing whenever we need it up here, then, you know, that is an advancement for the betterment of the community.
And I would say, before we discuss that too much further, well, we need to make sure that anything we get, you need to look at the manufacturer's recommendation for accessories. Okay, because if we get a snowplow for one of these trucks, no matter which one it is, and I'm talking about any brand, once you get a snowplow for it and mount it on there, you may void all warranties.
Well, I did notice that the quote on the Ram included a snowplow with it, so that
Yep.
would be coming from the dealer with it, so
Okay,
I would
So it is.
assume
but
that,
Ford has the same thing.
let me add a little something to that. Friend of mine bought his boy a used Dodge Ram truck, or Ram, whatever they want to call themselves now, and it had a dealer installed lift on it. Okay, the dealer installed lift, changed the geometry, and next thing we know, they had parts wearing out, okay? But since it was dealer installed, the factory would not warranty it. So that's the only caution I'm gonna put out there. If it comes with the full warranty with the plow on it, whether it's dealer installed or factory installed, that's big, that's huge.
you're gonna say something, Corey?
It's, I think in most anybody that ever does any snow plowing, is gonna tell you that type of plow, you do not plow gravel with it. You'll be repairing these parking lots
Oh, yeah.
repeatedly, you don't use those for that.
So you think we should go
Well,
without a plow?
I think, if you're asking me my opinion, the plow is no benefit. That's my opinion. And what we did here for the first 5 years I was here, I used the city tractor, put the blade on the back of it, and drug these parking lots out every time it snowed. And it doesn't bother me to do that. It just became, the council just decided, oh, we can't keep asking you to do that. Well, you're not really asking me to do it, I just do it, but I'm not against doing it. It really takes no time at all. It just seems,
And all
Yes.
your plowing is the police and here.
yeah, fire station and this, it really, it takes not an hour and you're done with it.
See, I like that.
Yeah, I like staying out of the plowing
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And I think they can get by with a cheaper car. I don't think we need a four-wheel drive truck, because they don't have to drive up in none of these, construction sites. Okay, you can park right on the road, walk up in there. Am I wrong?
I mean, it really
Is
depends
there
on
any
where
other-
we're at, depends on what street you're on.
I mean, but my car gets around every street in almost. I know a few of them get stuff.
So, question on a truck versus SUV, do you carry any ladders or any type of equipment that
I mean, it's
require the truck?
really
bed?
gonna depend on how many hats the truck wears. I mean, if we by chance start taking on more roles than just building inspections, then yeah, we might need to be able to carry tools or water, valve wrenches and stuff like that. It could really go without saying. I mean, you just never know what I'm gonna wind up doing. And that's the truth, cause I mean, I do just about everything that you can really think of. I mean, it's not just, I don't just drive around inside there. I don't. I mean, I go back and forth to Lacey, do this, do that, haul stuff from the city down to here. It's, you know, there's been 2 or 3 trips I've made so far with my personal truck because I had to go get stuff that will not fit in a car. So, you kind of think about that before we're just omitting, let's just get a cute little passenger car. Because I'm not gonna continue to drive my personal truck to go get stuff in the city business.
How many times have you had to do that?
I've done it, I don't know, 2 or 3 times since I've
In
started.
reality, it
What kind of
doesn't
stuff do you
matter.
pick
If he's gotta do it once, that's too many times.
up?
I mean, we're asking him to do a job. And Mike, you know, I was against, I was fine with the SUV out there doing it, but I do see that Lance does more than that prior person was. And we're at a juncture right now where we can look forward and have a situation that he's not gonna ever be in a problem with that. Or if he needs to go get something for the fire guys or the police guys or whatever.
So, let
We
me,
don't have any other vehicles that can do that already.
well, that's what I'm about to ask. With what you've hauled so far, what's this? And I know I don't wanna use smallest, but that's the only thing that comes to mind. What's the smallest vehicle you can use? Say, how about a Ranger with a ladder rack? I mean, I'm asking you, you know what you hauled, I don't.
I mean, it could very well vary. I mean, I don't
I-
know exactly what I'm gonna be hauling
But
because
what you've hauled so far,
so far, we've been, ever since I took over, we've been working on getting things more organized. So we've been back and forth to the city twice, just picking up shelving units, which are,
okay?
7 feet long and, just kind of bits and bobs, but
So a question, I know we're gonna talk about water project later, and what not water operating and stuff do, and I know that there's some conversation on if that was something that you might be able to look out for.
This is what I'm talking about right there, looking forward, cause yeah, we're gonna have to work on the water system. And none of those parts are, you can't cruise around in a Maverick or a Ranger and
And then that also you bring up, if it could potentially be used for water or sewer or whatever, is four-wheel drive then become a necessity because you don't know where you're gonna take it?
I'm a full believer in four-wheel drive. I don't think I've ever not owned a four-wheel drive.
And Lance, don't take it personal, I'm not trying to make your job harder. Well, my job is to save the taxpayers' money, but you're a taxpayer. We wanna do it as cheap as we can, we just do it right. So, I'm not trying to make your job harder. That's not personal.
So a Tonka truck won't work.
I might say something on that truck too, because I've seen or had a couple people mention that the code would still have a truck if the fire department hadn't taken that truck from them. That, and some of you were here with that, that truck had been bought initially for the codes department. I think went from 1 to 2, then went dropped back down to 1. That truck got parked back here and set for 6 or 8 months and was rusting away because it had problems. We asked about converting it to a brush truck, and so they, because it just sitting back there rusting away, but we took it, we put, the fire association spent almost $9,000 fixing that truck because it had all kinds of issues, so it wasn't, even if it was still here, you were gonna dump a ton of money into that truck to even make it usable for them. And that was paid for with, like I said, the fire association funds, it wasn't city budget monies that did that.
So, where you bought your squad car, they don't have pickups, do they, or vehicles?
do.
They do?
They have trucks and SUVs, and they do all fleet vehicles, I guess, basically.
Would it be something,
I can certainly call them and ask them what they've got available.
I mean, if they can beat some of these prices, that'd be better yet.
What prices are we looking at?
They're in
Well,
front of,
Looking at
all of their
47
vehicles
grand.
all of their vehicles that I've seen are, they upfit them with
Oh,
equipment
okay.
before they put them out for sale, so it may not be something.
I did anticipate they'd be higher than what we're looking at here.
What's that?
I'd guess they'd be higher price than what we're looking at here.
Well, because.
This is a good deal,
They
I can tell
upfit
you
them with
that.
stuff he's not gonna need, lights and radios
Yeah.
and sirens
Yeah,
and all
I
that.
don't mind that one,
I just
I
paid
don't see why
47
we
for
would
my
need
truck out there.
An F-250, that wouldn't make any sense.
I just paid 47 for mine.
I paid $250
And
for
my
mine.
wife works at Ford and got all the discounts and all the bells and, all that stuff. This is a good price.
The day plan.
Yeah,
My dad retired from Ford, so yeah, he's the
so with her plan and being that she's a controller at the dealership, they gave me some rebates they could and all kinds of stuff. That's a good price right there. And Dodges are cheaper than Fords or Chevys. The problem with Dodges is after you get so many miles on them, they start wearing out.
You know,
But that's nothing, that's,
No problem with that.
you're talking, no, you're talking to a guy who traveled the country for 26 years and drove these different vehicles. And the Dodges wear out faster. You're never gonna see 250,000 miles on this truck.
Well,
no, not before.
And that's what I'm talking about, as my only, I never had problems with Dodges other than that wearing out factor.
well, you gotta, what you're saying there, there's some truth to that. I've worked for Chrysler too, but also you gotta know what's going on out there in the industry. And right now, 25 and 26 GM trucks with a 6.2 liter, no, take that back. It's the 3 liter, Duramax diesel. They're already having, crankshaft issues in them. The Fords and the GM trucks use the same transmissions, the 10 speeds. And if they don't open a class action lawsuit very soon, I'll be surprised. So, everybody has problems.
Yeah. But I will say that this has been going on for a long time. And if you've been on this council before, you know that the way that I see things is you get them done and out of the way, instead of dragging and dragging and dragging. This truck's been a problem since Lance has been in it. So, I think he's done his due diligence. I think this is a good price right here.
Well, but you said these prices include a plow?
No, this one does not, the 47. The 2,500 right here, the 60,000 included a plow.
Yeah, that was the only reason that you were looking at 2,500 was
Yeah.
the plow.
Yeah, it was, we were talking about clearing the street to City Hall and the parking lot, but
But we have a good,
Plow, we don't need the 2,500.
yeah, we got a good police chief that'll handle that.
The county plows 2,400 in Eulery, so the parking lots is all we ever had to deal with.
Is there any more discussion on the issue?
they need to do a better job.
Do what?
So they need to do a better job. I don't know how many times I've went up Jingo Road about seeing somebody fly off.
Jay?
You saying that the price at Ford, the fleet, is that the one we're talking about?
I'm saying the Dodge is the best deal.
The Dodge
Dodge.
Ram.
For 47.2. The Ford is more expensive.
You can do with that old truck.
Yeah, that's gonna be next, because also people were asking about the fire truck and the old police car, what we're doing with those. I know we
They've
talked
been
about
approved to be put on,
Yeah,
put up for Purple Wave auction.
Yep.
that's what I thought. but-
Yeah.
and that's what we'll do with
Police
this.
car's completely stripped out. I think I've got 2 things to take off the fire truck and then we'll get them listed.
I'll give you $1 for it.
But it's a Purple Wave auction.
Uh,
I think if you and I.
You don't
meet
get the
together,
option
there's
there,
probably
boss.
some legal issues.
He wants us to put in his front
We don't have
yard.
the attorney here, but I'm guessing he would tell us no.
But we could store it down at your house for a
Yeah,
few years.
I think a fire truck would make a nice yard ornament.
Oh, I think with your little skeleton guys,
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be great.
yeah.
I don't care as long as they're out in the back of the parking lot.
But yeah, we would be selling the old truck. And hopefully we find a sucker like we did.
Would we do the same thing we're doing those with probably, or
What's that?
would you do this coach truck sell the same way you're doing the space car?
Yeah, you just list them on, strip it out, list them on Purple Wave,
As is.
let people buy them.
Yeah, it's always as is.
I mean, anything on Purple Wave is an as-is,
Yeah.
there's no warranties on anything.
That's the best part about it.
I would suggest Purple Wave over selling it here local.
Yeah,
Well,
if you
the
do-
other thing
you
that
get
we've
more-
done
you get
is
more out
accept
of them,
bids.
right? If you do the sealed bid thing,
Yeah.
then everybody's pretty low.
Well,
Yes.
you don't wanna make anybody mad. Well, this thing was a turd. Yeah.
Oh, we did sealed bids
That's why we
and
were selling.
got a crazy bid from, where was that? Did that bid come from, where they ended up
Oh,
coming?
Illinois.
Yeah, all the way from Illinois, got a sealed bid for that, and everybody else is like $600-700, $800, and there was like 4,500 or $5,000.
$5,000 for it.
Yeah,
It took them sent the money right away, but it took them 2 or 3 months to come down and pick it up.
That's
Okay,
why, like
so-
Mr. Gravel said, it's Purple Wave's
Yeah.
a much better deal.
So,
Do we have any more discussion?
do we have, where are we gonna get the money?
We had
We,
budgeted.
we budgeted the money,
And we budgeted
50,000.
50?
I thought the last time we talked, we was talking mid-30s,
No, that was
39.
talking to the
No,
salesperson.
we was talking about the whole thing in general, too.
We was talking about a bid from the salesperson that Jamie brought.
No, we were talking about what we were gonna look for.
Well, we never
We
voted,
started, what, at 60-some thousand?
we never
Back
vo-
to 50 grand?
we never voted on it, so, I mean, we were just talking and trying to get prices then, and then we were trying to keep him under 30, if I remember right.
I think we came up with 38, 39.
When was, I don't know, was this before I was back on the council?
No, this was just here recently, whenever they brought the guy in from, Pleasanton.
There was, yeah, and he talked about fleet vehicles also.
Yeah, he was from Cox, down the road, trying to sell us on a,
We never heard nothing about the fleet.
No.
Well, you got Olathe Fleet,
Yeah, they're very expensive.
they're actually the
They're higher.
#1 fleet in the country.
You buy more, you get cheaper price.
That,
They were higher.
so, anybody else got any more discussion about it?
I don't have anything else.
Mindy, we are correct that we budgeted 50,000, right?
Yeah,
so,
And if we can use it for both code enforcement and the water project, how would that work? Do you not take it home at night?
Well, there's been some.
No, we're saying,
Well, no, I know, but you said
when you need
later
par-
on.
when you need parts to work on the water stuff, he
He's
has
gonna
a
go
truck.
get them?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
cause he works for the city anyway, so he can come up
Well, I
to,
wasn't sure.
I do a lot more than just building inspections, trust me.
yeah, I've been hearing,
Well, do we
don't be delving into my business,
Do we wanna move forward?
doing a little
So
cooking in an
license
RV.
Does anybody wanna make a motion to what to do on this, or do we wanna table it?
yeah.
or what?
I will make the motion that we, let Mindy, I don't know, and, well, Lance is doing the legwork, or can you handle it all from here?
He can get it set up, I just write the check,
Okay,
but.
so I motion that we allow Mindy and Lance to seal the deal on this $47,256.50 with the 2025 Ram 1500.
I'll second.
Any discussion, conversation, last call? All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
No.
Ayes have it.
Drive it like it is.
Lance, quick question.
Yeah.
I know we just approved it. What's the remote start?
It was just a little something that we threw in there.
So we could save
I think,
$700?
I think we can
Yeah.
save $700 there.
Right?
You wanna take it out of my paycheck?
no, it's already in there.
Already
I don't care.
My truck out there is the first remote start I've ever had. I never thought I needed it or anything, but it's nice.
I don't know if you need it either, but once you've got one, you
Yeah,
really.
look at the Ford quote, look at all the stuff she threw in that. 'cause
But I've never let my wife not have a remote start, but I've just never had
The
one.
Ford may have been cheaper. But she's like,
Okay, moving on.
All right, next item is AV equipment. As you all know, our camera decided to die on us. I was going to be asking about new AV equipment to do some new things at some point, but since the camera died, I kind of accelerated that. There's this kind of price sheet, and there's another document that she handed out that kind of explains what the whole thing's about. So basically, what I'm looking to do is to replace the broken camera, add a second camera so we can have a view on us, and a view we can switch to for anybody that's at the podium, so anybody watching remotely can see Joey Rivers up there talking. Along with that is a new controller, a little box up there so we can have the multiple inputs. And then a television that we can present things on here for people that are here. We can present the agenda, the budgets, the presentation, anything on that to do all that. So this printout here is basically what we're looking at. I did, my request is for an approval to upgrade our AV equipment with a budget not to exceed $5,000. This is currently sitting at around 32. But there'll be tax and, well, no, we don't pay tax. But there may be some other miscellaneous cables and stuff, so, that's what I'm asking for. Like I said, I wanted to hold off a little bit on asking for this, but I don't wanna replace just a piece of it
Yep.
now. And, if we're gonna do part of it, let's just do all of it. There's gonna be no installation or labor fix, I'll come and take care of it myself, so.
Where is the funding coming from?
This,
Yeah, the,
pretty much divided between all departments for equipment.
Yeah.
Everything pretty much gets divided now, everybody uses it, so not everything's going under admin or, you know, just,
And you wouldn't have to print out all those extra papers.
I'll bet.
You can put it up on the
Yeah,
day.
Yeah,
put it
that-
on the-
So,
Well, I don't know if you ever at the POA meetings where they've done that, they've like put the budget and stuff on there. It's been really helpful for people to sit there and be able to see exactly what's being talked about.
oh, extremely helpful.
Yeah.
And you, yeah. Like we, at my work, we just put up a 65-inch.
Yeah. What I've got in here, and I'm not sure on the size, I put an 85-inch, so I figured that'd be the biggest thing we'd ever want. I'm a little leery about 85 on a stand, but I'm also wanna make sure people can see print at the back of the room. But I think it'll be okay. This stand's supposed to go up to a 90-inch TV, so
I don't,
I think it'd be okay. I just, Mindy's brought up, and I agree with her, I don't know if we trust mounting a mount to these walls here. Might not hold.
now the stand's a good idea. The only question I have is if I were to vote yes on this, would I be expected to be able to run any of this equipment?
No. I will
Yeah,
take
thank
care of
you.
it most of the time, and I'll train Mindy on it for backup.
I don't, I am technologically challenged.
the only concern I have is we just bought this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with that camera or what kind it is, but, I brought an old webcam in from home, so we had something Monday. And I worked on it for what, a couple hours Monday trying to get it working? And the camera just is not putting out any output, I don't know why.
So why did you say that we are all aware of the camera issue? Cause
I thought you guys knew. Oh, you were here late.
Oh.
But I think we did talk about briefly at the start that we're using a different setup right now because
Okay.
we couldn't get it.
And then they said it went out after 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, so what happened was, when we moved everything so we could plug that camera in, because we didn't have any cord, the plug for the little box didn't get plugged in all the way, so it was
So,
running off battery.
yeah.
So about 20 minutes into the meeting, it went, so,
Didn't,
Which would be about perfect timing for the end of your little speech.
don't last it longer than that. We got 20 minutes, the meeting was 30, so we got most of it.
so, didn't we look at buying, I don't know if we approved, but we talked about buying some security cameras, is that what we got?
we got those.
Yep.
Yeah.
They still work, correct? Okay.
I think it's just that one, bad, right?
Yeah, that one was bad.
I think that's stuff that Robert just ordered, just to get something set up and go home.
Yeah, it was. Well,
And our community really likes the live stream, I mean,
yep. Well, I motion that we allow Mayor Potter to, have a budget of up to $5,000 to upgrade our camera system and have a monitor.
I'll second.
Discussion? operation? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Is there anything else that we need to talk about before we adjourn and move on to the workshop for water project? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second by
I'll
second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Now we'll move on to the workshop.
I better see that truck soon. What color are you going with?
I think it's, looks like it's black with the quote says.
Right.
I didn't think it, it's just what they had.
No.
So, we have lots of water project questions to answer.
Okay.
I think the first thing on my mind, as we're starting to get operational with this system now, is the water operator. I know that, did you guys ever get up there and get shown what the stuff was, or?
We haven't been back up there. I think that once they get the sanitization of the tower done, I think we're probably gonna wind up back over there. We'll have to get in touch with Edinger to kind of figure out, what time that will be. Once we figure that out, then we'll familiarize ourselves with the system.
So my question on the water operator, 'cause I wasn't here for a lot of the discussions when you were talking about, you know, if we're gonna have to have one. Are we looking at was that a full-time role, a part-time role, do we know?
I think we discussed it as a part-time role for
Part-time.
now.
Yep.
That may grow into a full-time role.
And what about, I know we're talking about water project, but we need an operator for the lagoon too, don't we, or is that?
No.
Paige.
No.
Paige.
Paige will take care of that, okay. So, we need a part-time water operator. I assume we budgeted for the position.
Yes.
Okay. So, somebody catch me up on what we have discussed on this particular.
Well, we've talked about putting an ad out there for it, you know, because right now in the beginning, with all the stuff being new, it's mostly doing the water testing and sending those test samples in and all that. And flushing lines if needed, you know.
Knowing how to shut down
But the thing is, they gotta have certifications. So,
And do we know how much time, let's say we brought somebody on that didn't have certifications. Do we have a certain amount of time to get them certified?
That was questioned with Lacine, and they said that you could bring someone on and learn, but then you'd have to have somebody licensed over them to oversee their work.
The POA is open to us, they had no issues if we contacted the water operator that's running the plant now to help us through the transition.
what was his name?
Gary
Gary, yeah.
something or another.
Yeah.
I haven't reached out any further than that, my only contact was with the POA to make sure they didn't have any problems with us approaching them.
So-
I didn't figure they would, but, you know, wanna be.
So just thinking out loud, if Lance is interested in doing that part-time, would the POA allow Lance to go shadow him while he does his testing? So Lance can see what it's about and make sure that he's interested in doing something like that.
That's something you're interested in doing?
I'd do it. I'm up for trying anything.
What?
I said, I'm up for trying just about anything, so I'm not really scared of any sort of work.
But are you gonna be able to do the building inspector test and,
I'll have to do one than the other. The water operator's probably gonna be easier than the building inspection, because the building inspection is gonna be several different certifications. So,
And then, so, that also begs the question, so we would have to pay Gary part-time to help train you. We're paying Matt part-time to help train him. It's probably gonna extend how long we need Matt, because if you're gonna do the water test first, which I agree makes sense. That's something we wanna keep in mind too, that it's not just
Yep.
that, we're gonna extend out how long we have to have Matt too.
And since Lance will be doing two jobs essentially, we can pay him, how much more do we need to Said they can't do it on just his one salary, I would expect.
Well,
Well, you're full-time now, right? He's full-time now. He would,
Yeah, but we're gonna add on to his
Well-
responsibility.
there's thought of maybe finding someone else to do codes.
where do those thoughts come from?
Yeah.
Well, from Lance, actually.
No, I'm not saying there's
No,
anything
no,
wrong with that.
No,
I
no,
just-
no, no.
I was just
No,
wondering where it
that
came
was
from.
that was a kind of a discussion me and him had the other day.
I don't-
Technically, I don't know how the budgets work and all this stuff, and where we can rob from Peter and pay Paul with, but if we took codes away from Lance after he got certified for water, then that money we had budgeted for a part-time water operator to pay for a part-time codes operator.
We got budgeted in for both, because we knew we needed a water operator. So, and, I mean, you can go through the budget and find all
I'm
that
s-
stuff, but
If Mindy said it's there, then I trust her.
So that's something you're interested in doing, is phasing out of building permits and all that stuff and over to water.
No,
operator?
just the code.
Just the codes portion of it.
Well, building stuff and all that, I could do alongside water operations. It's not like I can't, tackle both of those. It's just I can't do all three. I think that would be a little much.
I agree.
Try,
And the codes enforcement can be a part-time. So, he just don't like all the hate he gets. Codes guys never, I mean, Don built his
Yeah,
own,
never
built his
possible.
house here and everything, and then was miserable, because people show up to his house complaining.
Well, don't do that at my house.
I don't know where you live.
It's hard to find. DIS is public, unfortunately.
And, you know, that would also make the whole truck thing easier too, if Lance
Yeah.
is doing the water.
So we're gonna provide vehicle for codes?
No.
Well, for the codes person,
That's,
Ah.
well, we would've had to buy one for the water operator, wouldn't we?
I thought that's why we got a truck too,
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
to cover both of them.
yeah, we did, but I'm just saying, but if we hadn't done that, did we have anything in the budget for the water vehicle? Cause codes person can drive around in a little
Yeah.
Kia, you know.
That's probably worse than the F-150 he's got.
A Kia. What about a Yugo?
But
Can we
this
find a
is-
Yugo somewhere?
this is
Lord, I
not
hope
something
not.
that we have to get in the budget this year. We could put that vehicle in the budget for next year.
Yeah.
Cause it's not gonna happen so fast that we're gonna be hiring a part-time codes guy this year.
I just, before, I don't know, I'd just like to see a little bit of commitment. I wanna make sure that you're gonna be happy and before we move forward with anything. Because if we invest in you, I wanna invest in you. I don't wanna invest in you for a little while.
Right. I do understand that. I don't plan on going anywhere.
Well, and that's,
I kinda like my job for the most part. I mean, I only really have one issue, so we're slowly dealing with that.
okay.
I think the idea of talking to the POA and Gary, if he will let him shadow you some, and kinda see what it is, you may look at it and go, I don't wanna do that.
I mean, surely it couldn't be that bad.
I wouldn't think so, but I
Put
think,
some water in a cup, ooh, wow, look at that.
Well,
But
Then off.
doesn't that Gary, he does other places too, right?
I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than that. I mean, obviously,
just
if you're
for the
testing
field.
budget-
no, that,
He runs that water plant though.
that,
So,
por-
what's
that
the
por-
difference between the water operator and cause there was something where we're talking about a superintendent or something that was they had to be contacted about shutting valves off and doing that, is that the
Well,
same?
he'll have to do that too.
Okay, is
Yeah.
that the same, is
Yeah,
I
that,
mean,
it's the
he'll
same.
have to know
Yeah.
all of that. If
Right,
something
I'm just-
happens, he'll have to,
is that a different role?
And
or is
water
that all
leaks?
one role?
No,
That was one role.
in this small of a town, that's a one roll.
That's what I assumed, but I've heard it called two different things, so I wanna make sure that
Yeah.
my brain's wrapped around it right.
The reason why I say water operators, because a water operator has to have certifications. A water superintendent does not have to have certifications.
Okay.
Okay, He'll have to have certification.
Yes, and that's why I keep reiterating it's operator.
Yeah, okay.
Cause a lot of your small towns, the city maintenance guy will, does Lou have any certification? But somebody like Lou would handle all of that, you know? But now, with times changing, they're getting more and more strict on those certifications. Which you can get all those certifications online.
All right. So moving on,
So, okay, I think we got a tentative idea there, unless there's any objections to.
okay, so I'm gonna bring up probably some other things that I've come up with being in all the meetings.
Yeah, no, you had a pretty good list there, so.
When the meters start going in, okay, we need to see if, are we going to require, and I know we've talked about this, but nothing's been set in stone, nothing's in writing. When they come in to set the meters and the resident is going to tie on to it, they're gonna have to have a building permit. That's my understanding. Okay, then according to ordinance is that the pins are gonna have to be located for each building permit. Mindy brought up a good point that most everybody has their pins located in there. There's gonna be some that do not. So that's, we need to figure this out.
So, I have a question on that. So, B&G or whoever's coming in and they're doing surveys and saying the meter needs to go here, 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 you know?
Right.
And we're allowing for some adjustments to that. But if they come in and, you know, they've already done their survey and they say the meter's here, that, could we trust that they're putting it in the property rights?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my
But,
thought.
but no, I mean, they got a survey company coming in that they're paying to make sure that they're right. My concern is, we've already had two women that I know of that don't want the meter here, they want it over here. They want it, don't want it in front of their lot, they want it over here on the corner. Well, if you do that, then that's gonna mess up the survey, that's gonna mess up the plat maps and stuff like that. Then, if they run their water line off of their meter over here, are they gonna be too close to the property lines? Are they gonna be within the 10 feet?
So, what if we say, if you leave the meter where they say it is, you don't need a survey, if you want to
But if you,
move it, need a survey.
if you want it moved, you gotta get a
It-
survey
it-
done.
And I agree with that, okay? If, the BG and Headinger's gonna put your meter box here, here's your permit, have a great day. And they said, well, I don't want it here. I said, you're gonna have to do a pin locate, and then whatever we wanna do on the building permit.
Yeah, 'cause we require a survey of every building. and that's
Right.
the issue, so.
Yeah.
Right, but like Mindy said, most everybody that has done work in the last however many years, pins have already been located and on file here.
I have something about the meters.
Okay?
If I recall right, at the meetings I was at, or there were just a couple of them, there was so many meters allocated for, that was in the budget, or,
Yeah, and then we increase that,
and there were so many meters that covered after that, people were gonna have to purchase their meters.
Yep.
Okay. And
purchase their meters at cost.
at cost. Okay, well, I fell into the realm, because when I built in 2022, that was, my lot was considered for the new upgrade of the meters. Okay? Because my question was, I just bought my meter, and now you guys are telling me I have to buy another meter? I was like, no, but then they told me, no, you're in the allotment
Yeah.
that gets the new meter. Now, for other people, like I'm on POA, I have a friend that's on rural water number 1. He just asked me, he's building right now, he asked me, well, am I gonna have to purchase another meter? And I don't know, I don't know the answer.
So,
Since saying yes.
Some of them are, yeah.
But here's the deal. This is how, it's so hard to tell the community, to explain to them things. We have 830 meters now. It started with 600 meters. We're at 830. But the way that grants and loans through the USDA works is you have to spend the loan money before you touch the free money.
Okay.
So at the end of a project, that extra money that's left over, you use it because it's literally the free money.
So then that money that's left over can be applied to other people, so
That's-
they're not having to pay out of
That's
pocket.
one of the options, is to
Okay.
put it towards meters. Of course, we're gonna be buying meters anyway to have them in stock.
Right.
And also for equipment, we could be getting a backhoe or stuff like that. We just gotta see where we end up with that amount of money. Cause like when we got our deal finally with Rural Water One, we had budgeted, well, BG had budgeted $1 million for that, and we ended up settling for $670,000. I think we spent another $70,000 on our lawyer. So there's $250,000 right there that I said 3 years ago can go towards more meters.
I think too, something on the rural water, people are probably freaking out if they had to buy their meter from there, cause they pay $5,000,
Yeah.
the meters,
There were
That-
These are,
About $1,200.
and the meters
Yeah.
aren't near that expensive,
Yeah.
there was a lot.
A meter actually
on there.
costs between $900 and $1,300.
Also, I don't know where this falls, but a couple of people have come to me that says they know somebody real well that works for Rural Water Number One. And they ask, why are we getting our water through Lacine, when basically Lacine gets the water from Rural Water Number One, so
No,
it's
they
like.
don't.
No, they
See,
don't.
and I told him, are you guys, Pat, giving me accurate information? Or are you guys just listening to somebody because he's mad because he lost his job at Rural Water Number One?
Well, here's the
So,
easy way.
I just thought I'd bring, because I know nothing
Here's the easy
about
way
it.
on that. Rural Water One does not produce any water.
Okay.
They buy their water from Lacine, and they buy their water from Water 13.
Okay.
Lacine actually produces drinking water. Water 13 produces drinking water.
That's great. That's-
All that
that's the
Rural Water
information
One
I
does,
need.
but we tried to get with Rural Water One for
They
them to
wouldn't
be a
talk to
backup,
us.
and they just refused to talk to us at all, so.
Ah,
But
okay.
they do not produce
And I-
anything.
You know, that's why I'm asking.
so,
Trying to figure this
That
out
is
myself.
something we do need to figure out a backup.
well, I mean, Lacine's backup is Rural Water
I
One,
know.
but then
I
we
wonder how close Miami County is to us now.
I think they're getting close. That might be an option.
Dale, where was I coming? I was coming in and somebody's digging a line right up here. Somebody's putting in a line right this side of 359th. So it looks like a small project, like a home, but they're coming from about 359th.
The only
I mean, there's
reason
new
that
houses going on.
Rural Water One's a backup for Lacine because we approached Water 13. If there's 13 agencies that use Water 13, and any one of those can vote no and prevent them from selling water to anyone else. And
That,
obviously, Rural Water One is always gonna vote no.
I think
That's why-
I think we discussed this with Aaron and VG. They had some options, but we never did decide.
Okay.
So I would readdress that with Aaron and get his options again and see where we're at. But anyhow, so on the pins and the meters, back to that. What's our decision, and we can't make a decision, but what is the consensus? What does everybody think?
That if you're having that meter moved, you have to get that pin.
I like that.
It'd be what,
if you are asking Hettinger to move the meter where you want it, then you're gonna pay for that survey.
Unless you already got one on file.
To
Yeah.
show that you are still on your lot.
If we waive getting, surveys, is that gonna put any liability on the city if they do something?
If it's on file. It's gotta be on file if we waive it.
No, he's saying,
If we waive it because we're using the meter location from B&G and Head.
No. The meter location from B and G, yes. Use that if they have done buildings, like he's done a building, I've done a building. Our pin location should be on file.
They should have a copy of it.
If somebody comes in and they have a meter location, but they don't have any pins on file, then they need to do it.
Right, okay, I was just making sure, I was gonna say, if we're gonna waive them, then.
No,
it's
no.
on that responsibility.
Well, I mean, in a situation like that,
I have a concern.
well, let me finish my thought. Okay. And I know there's gonna be situations like that. There's gonna be people there that we don't have pin location on file. And BG has a meter location for 'em. I mean, that's the Achilles heel of this whole thought here, is how are we gonna treat them since we're pretty much giving away building permits?
If B&G said this is in their property,
yeah,
we
then,
can trust that.
yeah.
As long as
With the money we pay
Well-
B&G, yeah.
The reason for the pins locate is to make sure that they don't get within the 10 foot of their property lines.
Right,
That's for somebody that wants to move their
that's if they
meter.
wanna move their meter.
Well,
If-
yeah.
If they keep the meter location from B&G,
B&G will not set those meters within, 10 feet of their,
I mean, but
at least that's how they're supposed to design it, so.
If they've already got your survey paperwork, that's fine. But there's still you gotta have a survey, one way or another, you gotta have it up here, you gotta get one.
Right.
So that really don't, you know.
Yeah, 'cause there's one lady, she,
We're not talking about getting rid of the surveys and not making them not do surveys.
no. No, survey has to be on
See, I got
file.
my survey paperwork for all my properties.
Right.
Down here, but I can use them anytime, that's no problem. The city's got
I'm
something,
I'm hoping mine's in that room right there.
But the problem is, if you have to get a survey, it could take Greg Grant, you
Right.
don't wanna do it now 6 months to get out here. and get it done.
Which let's see what Lance's concern was.
My biggest concern, yes, we do have a pretty extensive log of surveys,
Okay?
but a lot of times, those surveys have changed hands, properties have changed hands, and just because we have a survey doesn't necessarily mean they know where those pins are at. And that's a really common thing, like, okay, where's your property pins at? I don't know, well, you turned in a survey, well, that's just the survey that the old property located. Then we're out there, okay, well, take some measurements, do this, do that.
No, that ain't your responsibility.
No, but just kinda, what do you do if they try to bring you up a 5-year-old survey and nobody has any idea where the pins are?
No, Bub, no. It doesn't matter what they bring up to you. When you go out there to do your job, they are to show you where those pins are. And if they can't show you where those pins are, then they have to get another survey.
That's supposed to be marked, but what he's saying if he has to go by these old surveys, that he, you can't tell where the pins are, right?
Not normally.
But
I mean,
that's-
a lot of
that's-
people will mark them with their own method of marking, but
And over the owners, they moved, the stakes can get moved all over the place, the markers, yeah.
Now, what I did is, well, of course, I took T-post. I have some permanent pins.
There's a lot of permanent pins out there. Mine on my property are permanent pins.
But anyhow,
Right.
I'm,
didn't people used to use like a metal detector to find their pins?
Yeah.
But that's not,
If they've already got a survey on file, they don't know where their pin is, they could use that to find their pin, or no?
Yeah, yes, they can. I've literally done that.
But the concern with that was how long it was gonna take somebody to get a survey, how long we're gonna give them, after we tell them, that meter in, that hooked up to your house. how long
well,
we're gonna give them that?
and that kind of brings me to the next point. The next point would be, once they get their meter box in, and they do their due diligence, and let's say somebody needs to locate them, how long, with the understanding, we have to sell water to start paying for this, okay? How long is the maximum allowance from when they set that meter box at their house till they tie on? What's the maximum length of time they can wait?
We have to set that, or some people are gonna sit on it for a year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of like, if you already have a home, then they put the meter in and you just run it to your house. There's no way it's gonna be,
If you can
You're-
afford that. You know, if there's, the thing is, what, if we don't put a date on it, if we don't put a time limit, what, be it,
no, what I'm saying is, you don't have to wait for a survey. If you've already got a
Oh,
line
yeah.
going to
Right.
your house,
oh, yeah.
then if they put the meter like where your present meter is, then you're fine.
Yeah,
You don't
I was,
need to.
I was talking on the,
Like
on
me,
give people
like,
that
like,
they're set before they connect.
like old Richard
People
here
don't
off of
have
Holly
any
Lane.
lines.
I'm lazy, I don't wanna dig that trough to my house. I don't wanna pay anybody to dig that trough to my house.
You want me to come dig that trough to your house?
No. How long are you gonna, what's the maximum length of time before you're gonna come out and make me?
Once that meter's set,
Yeah,
you're talking 60 or 90 days max.
Well, what if you can't find what if you can't get a survey out here? And I know you can't.
oh, yeah.
Sometimes it takes a while to get
That's-
on surveyed,
It
so
took me
that's
4 or
true.
5 months last time.
That's
Hey.
not true.
Oh, it's absolutely.
That's not true. There's that one guy that does it that takes forever, but a friend of mine called a place in Paola that did it, came out and did it immediately. And they
Really?
charged- yeah, and they charged him $1,200.
Oh,
Brandon Drew, called them,
Yep.
told them they're huge, they
Yeah, Alan
came out,
Brothers did mine.
I like the 350 I paid.
I think that's the name, Alan.
Nobody does it for the 350 anymore.
That's who I.
Oh, really?
That was John McKean or whatever.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
he don't do it at all anymore. But there are other, you don't have to get these certain people to do
I
it.
know that.
Literally, I could call up Boundary tomorrow and say, hey, they do all our surveying at work. Say, hey, can you go down to Lynn Valley and survey these property lines?
Could the city reach out to a couple of surveyors? and
Well-
Get us on we're not paying for them, we're not endorsing them necessarily.
We're just giving them an
saying-
avenue?
We're giving them an avenue,
Yep.
say, we've made these two surveys have agreed to put you at the front of the list, so we can get your survey done faster or something, because they know the volume of surveys that need.
Okay, I mean, I don't know the surveyor Hettinger uses, but I see them, I know when they're here, cause they park their little Toyota trucks up there by the exit.
See, he could talk to him.
But, I mean, I don't know if these guys would do it for us for a fee, you know, or if they'd even do it on the side for us. You know, I don't know if that would be a conversation with Hettinger or
That would be a conversation with the surveyor.
me walking up and say, howdy, how you doing? You know,
That's exactly what I would do.
I mean-
I will reach out to Boundary and ask Justin if he's interested at all. Or I can call Alan with J&J. Cause some of these guys come down to these areas all the time, you know?
You know, and it could be, they know they're gonna come down and do
Yeah,
10 or 15 surveys, they'll, versus drive all the way down here to do one,
yeah.
you know.
so now,
How long is it gonna take you a contractor to do the work?
do the work
that's
of-
kinda unclear with Hettinger. Hettinger wants to do it. He wants to dig the trenches and run the lines for the customers. But I don't know what he's going to charge per foot, with or without rock.
There was a question too, I thought, that somebody had asked, it might have been one of you asked, speaking of digging the trenches, are homeowners gonna be allowed to take care of their own, or are they gonna have to pay somebody else to do it and hook it up?
According to the ordinance, it's gotta be done by a licensed contractor. That's the wording if I
Is that
remember.
Just the
entire
hookup,
thing
isn't
of
it?
digging the trench?
What's
and
that?
everything
Just the
and
hookup,
connecting it?
isn't it?
I thought it, inspected, I thought it had to be inspected.
Yeah, it
by a
has to be
licensed Contractor.
You have to prove that you disconnected the connection from the water
Yeah,
tank.
which
So
I
what
asked,
about the pump? Don't they have to reroute the pump around the water pump?
the only thing that, when I asked the question about decommissioning, you have to have a picture of the pump from your tank unhooked, take a picture of it and show the new line.
Yeah, the pump
Yeah.
will just be a matter of disconnecting the
Yeah.
pump and pulling it out of the system, and your new water line's
Well,
gonna
some
tie
people's
in right
pumps
where
are
the
under their
pump
house,
is. Mine is under my house,
so,
but it is ahead of all of the water system in the house.
Right.
So the new water line will go in and tie in right where my pump's at. I'll pull the pump out, put the line up where
Yeah,
it
cause
goes.
mine is in my laundry room and that's it.
That really isn't, the pump is just a matter of pulling it out of the system, just cut the line and yank it out.
Yeah, mine's gonna stay right where it is. It's gonna water my grass.
Because, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that prefer to take care of it themselves, me being one of them. And, you know, so as long as it passes an inspection, does it have to be a licensed contractor to do it?
I think the ordinance says it does.
Does it
Is
have to
it-
say that?
Yeah, and I remember them talking about it, but I thought it said, we can put our line in, the trench's gotta be inspected, we can
Yeah.
put a line in, it's, the connection to the
connection.
meter has to be a licensed person.
Oh, okay.
I think, I'm pretty sure that's how it's written, because
Tying into the meter.
you're really kind of fuzzing a line there if you tell somebody, you're responsible for this line from this meter to that house, but I'm gonna tell you who can do it and who can put it in, that's crossing a line. So, they're taking full responsibility, now you have to inspect it,
And
like I said, it's gotta be inspected, and the connection itself has
And,
to be
and,
with the light.
and the wording of it might have eluded me to, questioning that.
So we should probably take a look at that.
Yeah,
Well, to me, that whole ordinance is gonna have to be rewritten from from just our discussion here.
So what Corey was saying too, running the line, I mean, digging the trench, anybody can dig a trench, but it's the hookup to the meter
Yep.
that would be, so digging the trench, as long as you're at the depth that you're required,
which is why you get the inspection.
Which is 3 foot.
yeah, then, yeah, I don't see why you would just dig it in.
I can understand, you know, the licensed contractor to screw the thing in, but.
Just, yeah, that connection, cause that takes some expertise. But yeah, we need to look through that ordinance to,
And change the word, we could say,
Do you know what ordinance number that is by chance?
Is that the one we just did?
No,
no,
that was a while ago.
Just a couple months ago.
no. The one we did a couple months ago was for the main line and saying you couldn't touch the valves. Not the meters, but the valves.
Oh, yeah,
Because that one was worded
Oh,
weird,
yeah.
and people got confused on that too.
How much time would you think it done?
Huh?
How much time would you think it'd give after the meter's set?
60 to 90 days max.
You think you can find a contractor and all that to do all that in 90 days, get a permit and everything, full? I mean, you personally.
Oh, me? Yeah.
You're gonna have,
The big contractor chomping.
I mean, you're gonna have time before the meters drop. They're gonna tell you. I mean, they're not just gonna drop it one day out of the,
You guys must have good luck with contractors. I can't, it takes me a long time to find anybody.
I know
If I
there's
if I
several,
call a plumber here, it takes me forever to get one to my house.
you get several people that are actually that live in here that are already in the process of purchasing the equipment and stuff to run the lines from the meters to the house, cause there's gonna be a lot of that, so I don't think they're gonna have any shortage of
I had
people.
a contractor call the other day just for that reason to get on our list. Cause he knows people will be called.
There's gonna be a bunch of them, so yeah, they're gonna want to jump in and get on.
Are you worried specifically about yourself?
No.
Oh.
I've already put a down payment on my guy.
Damn, hey, why didn't you just let me come down and do it?
Well, see, you're gonna have to spread his name out, so we know.
He wanted it to work.
I was
He said he
gonna say,
wanted it.
Want it to work? Well, free doesn't get you everything.
Right.
Oh. No, I got a hoe with a breaker and everything. Brothers.
I got a mini, I'm gonna dig my own, I'm not doing anybody else's. But
No, I'm just worried about giving them enough time, a lot of these people.
But
Yeah,
I don't think you understand the time that they're going to have. Long before they get the meters and all that stuff in,
And along with how long do you have to connect it,
yeah.
what is the penalty for not connecting it? Cause if you give them 90 days and there's no
Well,
penalty for it, then.
I would say after the 90-day grace, then they need to,
Oh, it's simple, you pay your $65 a month,
That's what I
your
was-
minimum payment.
Assuming.
They'll be paying that the minute the meter goes in the ground,
That is true.
so,
Oh, they're gonna start paying 65 months through the meeting goes in?
Yeah, I guess that is how we did it.
when that meter goes in, it's gonna be,
Yeah,
that
you-
water
So
running.
it doesn't matter.
you bought it,
Yeah,
it's yours.
So, doesn't matter how long we give them,
Yeah.
because they're gonna pay.
we don't
for
need to
it
give them
right
a time if they're paying from,
now. So the
once it's
incentive is
set.
going to be to get it hooked up yesterday.
I like that a lot better. That's a lot better than giving them, 90 days and then we got 100 people out here that can't get anything done.
I mean,
I like it from the ease standpoint, but I can definitely see it as an inconvenience to some people.
You're still gonna pay the meter for those 3, okay.
Yeah, I get it, it's just, I'm thinking about, people out there that are gonna be struggling to pay the money to have the pipe buried and connected and all that, and on top of that, they're paying $65 a month for water they can't use, plus the water they are using.
So I don't wanna be rude, but it's not like they didn't know it was coming. I mean, Mike's already put down, you're already planning ahead, so,
hey,
I mean, it is what it is, I'm just.
What do we do with the people that can't?
Yeah, that's
They have
the
no
next
money.
question is,
They don't have a dollar to put back.
John will go dig it for free.
you know what? I was working on all of that, and the other people in this community were working on all that. I'm not working on it now. Because that was my whole purpose of rerunning again, was to help the community. They didn't want me, so, just like the whole county tax thing. They didn't want my help. I don't care what I pay in taxes, and people say that that's snotty of me or whatever. No, I was looking out for you guys. And then you wanna spread all these lies and say all these things about me and how horrible a person I am. Why would I waste my time anymore to be charitable to you, or you, or you?
Good Lord, it's just a little over there.
I want your help.
It's something, I thought Michael was working on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the payment plan thing for the meters, but I don't know how to help these people that they ain't gonna have the money to do it.
Yeah, that's, I know that there's been talk.
That's for the people that need to buy meters after,
Right,
yeah.
the payment plan.
yeah.
I know there have been, some of the water meetings and town halls and stuff that I attended, just as an observer. It seemed like I remember there was talk of, the city was looking into if there was anything they could do to connect people with resources to help.
Yeah.
So I think we should try to do that if we can.
Who do we connect them with?
I don't know, somebody's gotta do that research and figure it out.
So here's where you start appointing people.
I'll ask for volunteers first. Is there anybody that has connections, maybe charitable organizations or something, that could do some digging for us and see if there's something that we could, some way we can pair people up with an organization that could help them? Or are there any state resources that would help those people? Probably not. Everybody jump at once.
I had already made those connections, and I'm not giving them up now. I'm not giving them to anyone.
so, and then we, some of the meters, of course, no, never mind. Anyhow, I think it comes out that some of the meters aren't probably needed in some places, so they need to be reassigned at some point. But that's after all that gets approved, I think. Am I right?
Well, that was the other thing that I tried to do a couple of years ago, was get us to do an ordinance that if you're an LLC, you do not get a free meter. Because it's a tax write-off for your LLC. Where these other people don't get a tax write-off for that. But
How-
that never came to fruition, so.
How would you see how many people had a LLC?
Their house would be in the name
Yeah.
of the LLC.
And why did that not go anywhere?
I don't remember that, I don't,
That was before you got on the
Okay.
council.
Is that something that the council would entertain discussing? Too late?
I mean, the list is
And,
made.
yeah, and, well, we haven't published it because we were still waiting on the approval from for the,
USDA is gonna approve that list,
oh, then we'd have to change it
I
again.
think. I don't know, I'd have to check with Aaron.
Yeah, we'd have to redo that list.
Yeah, we have to read the list, but we have.
Wait on
And,
USDA
and
again.
the next question
there's,
is there enough of them?
well,
Are we talking half a dozen, or are we talking 100?
On LLCs, there's hundreds of lots
Well, I know there's
In here.
hundreds of lots, but
Yeah.
are there hundreds of lots that are?
that are getting that are
metered?
need of water, I don't know.
Are there enough of them to make it worthwhile to do anything about it?
I think people are not seeing the big picture. If we have 830 meters, there's only 1,100 permanent residents in this town. So,
you, and then how many of them are not full-time? How's that
on
gonna work?
on the homes, on the homes, there's 300 homes that are on the lake. So,
So, I heard that if you're in a home, regardless of you're full-time or part-time, you have to connect. Is that
Yes.
true?
oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Does it matter when they built the home?
Huh.
Does it matter when they built the home?
Well, and they also
Okay,
have to be
then
within
I
100
don't
feet of the-
understand why they're not going down Crystal and Eric's road. They never went down that road whatsoever.
Their house was not there in 2019.
Yeah, whenever
Right,
they,
that's why I asked, is it,
Right.
you know, where, so,
That map is based off the numbers we had in 2019. That's when the original grant went in.
so how do they get water now?
well,
When we are done with the project, completely done, and Editor's done and out,
Okay.
then
And-
you can
and-
work on line
And,
extensions.
and then the money that John was talking
the
about,
money that we
Yeah.
spend at the end.
Then-
Would they go for that?
yeah.
Okay.
then it could go.
Okay,
But we
I
gotta get
understand that now.
this done first.
And
Okay.
also, they have to be within 100 feet of the water line, too.
No, that, I mean, yes and no.
We can expand with that money that's left over.
Right.
We can expand those lines.
Yeah.
But if we have somebody
The-
who's 150 feet away today, and we don't have the money to expand, we ran out of funds before we can expand up their road to connect them.
The city,
They're not forced to connect because they're farther away.
Yeah,
from the-
yeah.
Okay.
But if they wanna connect,
If they wanna
and
connect, then they have to, then they got.
then
free
they
will
would
to-
have
I,
to pay
I,
for that.
I do
extension.
believe that the city will run line 100 feet. to
And that's
the-
what he was saying.
To the meter.
So if you're 150 feet,
Somebody's gonna pay for the 50 feet.
yep,
Right,
So they get the first 100 free.
yep.
because there are several houses that are outside of that. And they're not happy that,
Yeah, you just look where Dan Don lives, we all know where he lives, right?
Yep.
That's where the water district stops, right there. And it's, you get all the streets that go on down all the way around.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few houses down there.
Quite a few, and that's just one spot. That kind of surprised me.
And speaking of full-time, I know we have a ordinance that defines what a full-time resident is. And those people, regardless, if they're within the water district, they have to connect if they're full-time.
in a house.
Yes.
In a house or in a camper.
If they're
I
in a camper
haven't
too,
said
they
it.
have to,
I understand. if
They're a
it's
permanent
camper.
resident, they have.
Oh,
to-
in a permanent
Yeah.
resident, yes.
And then we have a definition and ordinance of what a permanent resident
Yes.
is.
Absolutely.
And that's a solid definition?
Yeah. it's in the,
Well, I
one of the
what
ordinances
I'm
we
getting at
passed.
is, we had an ordinance that said campers can't be on a building lot more than so many days in a row. We got rid of that because it was hard to enforce. Our ordinance around if you're a full-time resident is how many consecutive days do you live here? Isn't that just as non-enforceable as the camper thing?
Mm, no.
What's the
That, and the definition you're asking about was actually what was used to require anybody that was living here full-time was required to put in a holding tank. whether
Yeah,
they're
I know
on
that,
camper or
but it's
not.
like,
That's where the definitions came from, that
Yeah.
was in that.
but is, if we said this other ordinance wasn't enforceable because we can't keep track of how many days a camper went on the lot, how do we keep track of how many days somebody's in their house or in their camper? I just wonder if we need to look at that ordinance and shore it up a little bit.
For part-time houses.
What defines you as a full-time resident? You have to live here so many consecutive days or so many weekends so throughout the year, if I remember correctly.
So why do we need to?
Well, I'm just asking if we do, because. So, okay, back up. We had an ordinance that said that camper can't be on a building lot more than so many consecutive days. We got rid of that ordinance and said they can be here from, May through September or whatever, because that's easy to understand. We couldn't track how many days a camper stayed on a lot.
Right.
If our ordinance that says you're a full-time resident is because you live here more than X days in a row, or you're here more than so many weekends, and I may be wrong with what the ordinance says, that's just what I'm going from memory. Is that ordinance solid enough to say you're a full-time resident? How do we prove somebody who's in there, staying here?
Well,
for
here's
consecutive days?
here's another way to look at that. It's gonna cost them more money to have the POA bring them water than that water meter.
I'm just asking the question because it's been asked of me.
That's gonna be a wait and see, in my opinion.
I was wondering if we should take a preemptive look at the ordinance and see if there's anything we can just
I don't know.
shore it up.
Last time
Well,
you approved somebody lives here full-time,
we-
needs a sewer tank.
Well, that's kind of the thing, is that it's really hard to prove, that's why so many of the cases just kind of fall apart. You can't necessarily prove, because nobody's gonna camp outside your house for 60 days trying to figure out, oh, well, they were here this day, this day, this day, and this day, and they were gone these days. Because, we don't have manpower. So, when it comes to full-time versus part-time, there's no real way to depict which one they are unless.
Do you have the ordinance? Cause we worked on this in like 3 workshops.
It may be, I may be going off old information or I may be told old information. I haven't looked at the ordinance myself for a while. It may have changed. I'm just asking if we need to take a look at it.
So would this be the ordinance that's requiring sewer tanks?
The ordinance. that-
Well,
that
it's the
defines what
ordinance we
full-time
did
resident is.
requiring that you have to get a water meter. That you have to
Well, I
be
think-
on the water system.
I think that's already defined by the map, because it says, these are the places that have to have it. So the map already tells you that.
Well,
does
it
not?
says the places where there were already water tanks.
I don't think that was it, I think that, when they did the 19 map, they went through and
No, because my neighbors don't have water tanks.
depicted exactly
Sewer,
where these
but not
meters
water.
were going.
And are they getting
Yes.
metered?
They're full-time, I don't know.
But,
No,
They're,
if they're not in the district, then they're
Okay,
well, they're
so
right there at the corner of my street.
here's where the numbers came from, cause I worked for the POA when we did this. If the POA delivered water to your house, you got put on the list. And water meters, and then we got the water meter list from rural water. Here's the problem, I can't remember, Reggie got left off the list. He has a water tank, but he hauled his own water. We didn't know he had a water tank, because we never delivered water. He's now on the list. People that have cubes are not on the list. That's not a water tank, and we didn't haul
That's
our
what
water.
the-
So what,
Even though they were a full-time resident in 2019.
Yeah,
What-
2
who-
cubes is not,
so
I see.
what was the little green flags by the sewer tank?
well,
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Lister is what you're saying, that if.
The little green flag by the sewer tank was,
I thought that was a count.
That's what I'm saying.
that
How do
that
we-
was
How do we know they're full-time
not for a count, that was for them to figure out where the water line needed to go.
Maybe I'm confused by what you're asking, but based on the map that was done in 2019.
Yeah, I heard something else
everything blue is
completely
Well,
different.
John, my buddy John Stone, him and,
My understanding was, and say,
Anita
asking
Shaw
was
were the
that
ones that went out and
this
put those
list
flags
came
in.
from, like she said, the people that had a water tank or already had a water.
I don't know, cause I kept that
No,
little,
this- well,
I
I
was
think
told
it's
not to
mostly
pull the flag out,
Yeah,
leave it there.
because that was,
I thought that was a census.
Are the
no, it was
residences
not a
that
census.
the grant
It was for the surveyor, the GB, to figure out where the water lines needed to go, cause you can't put a water line through a
It was
sewer tank.
right next to the cap on my sewer
Well,
tank,
that line runs by, so we're gonna make.
way up in the yard.
Yeah.
And you're within 100 feet.
It was on my property by 30 feet.
Yeah, I understand that.
What is,
Yeah, I'm struggling with that one.
It was not a census, I promise you that.
Well, according to the POA, it was a census when I called. So I don't know, somebody's lying here, I don't know. I just, anyway, moving on.
so say that they live there, they've got a camper on there or whatever, the water line runs in front of them. They live here full time, but they say, I don't live here full time, prove it.
Well,
You can't, how would you
so
connect?
you verify with the county tax, one way you can do it, it's not gonna be every answer, but you contact the county and see where their tax paperwork is made.
If they have
They
billing
have a
address
post office
here,
box here
wouldn't
and
they
they're
be
getting mail.
full-time?
That was gonna be a question, if we're getting mail here, does that constitute a full-time resident?
To-
Okay,
To-
here's another quirk in that, you got snowbirds. So they will have a centralized, I know there's a guy here that they here in the summer, gone in the winter, all of their mail goes to South Dakota, cause they pay a company to pay their bills. So their mailing address is South Dakota, but they live here half the year and they travel half the year.
Now, at the post office, they have a sign up, said in Lynn Valley, if you want a mailing address, you have to have in a sewer tank.
A sewer tank, yeah, there is.
You have to have a sewer tank. To- That means there's an address there.
Yeah. I'm just anticipating people pushing back.
That's gonna be a hard one. I don't know how you're gonna shore it up.
And there's people that live here that have a P.O. box in Drexel because they got mad at the post office here. You don't have to have your P.O. box where you live,
No, you don't.
so.
I think it's a little bit of a hole, or not a hole. It's a hole in our ordinance that's gonna be hard to plug. Maybe we don't.
That's gonna be something that's gonna be really, really hard for you to prove and really, really, probably almost as hard to enforce. So I don't know how you're gonna shore it up to prove it and enforce it. Just my opinion.
That was my point in bringing it up, is what we have right now technically is probably not any more enforceable than the camper rule that you got rid of.
No, I mean, we're gonna probably see meters in front of campers that the probably holds more water inside of them than, you know, 'cause they leak and they're unusable, but, 'cause I can drive down Holiday and around through there and there's some pretty rough ones. But, I mean, some of these may wind up with a meter, who knows?
I've already had campers call and say that they did not want a meter.
But if they're full-time residents,
No, I mean, these are part-time.
they're part-time. Well, it's saying,
Well, I've seen guys one guy with a Ford van, he's got his little water tank on the back of his Ford van, and he comes, gets his water, and I think he drains right out of it. So, I don't know how you're gonna enforce that.
yeah, I don't either, that's why I asked the question.
Then we will cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, let's pull those ordinances out and see how we did exactly define it.
how about she sends a copy to all of them, all of us, and we look at them at our leisure?
That's what I just said.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, pull out she can pull out the thing.
Well, I heard pull out, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, no, I don't want, I want to go eat supper.
Oh, no,
Oh,
not
not
right,
now,
no.
no.
There's no way, no, I'm saying, yeah, she sends it to us and we can
Okay.
read
I'll
through it.
email them too.
All right.
All right, let's move on to the next thing then. What other questions did you have?
I don't remember. I don't have that email in front of me that I sent to you.
If there's somebody who wants to work on a job description for our water operator, like what certifications we need, what we're gonna expect of them.
Oh,
Would,
you said
I
one
can
thing
do
you
that.
mentioned was a diagram of the typical water.
oh, yeah,
operations.
yeah, that would be something that we're gonna get hit with, because if some of us are putting in our own stuff. And I talked to Lance and Matt about it, and they really didn't have anything. But I mean, if there's any recommendations that we want to make, or maybe a diagram that we can share with the people, like, if you're gonna do it yourself, here's one example.
Yeah,
Would
That's
that
it.
not put liability on us if they screw it up?
I was gonna say, who would we get to drew that and keep us out of trouble?
Yeah,
Well, there's some truth to that.
I like the idea, I think it's a great idea, if we can keep ourselves out of trouble.
Well,
by doing it.
Or either that, or I guess, is there a website that we can
Yeah, maybe. we probably-
reference to?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, if we
Yeah.
reference them to something they can find on
Right.
their own.
What would, what's her name over at Lacine have a job description?
She did send me something that had, kind of what their person does, or,
Huh.
let me see.
Well, maybe it sounds like somebody's already on it.
I don't see it. She sent me something, I'll have to find it, it's here somewhere. Okay, yeah, she sent me, here's the email, I'll forward this email to all you guys.
Okay.
She sent me some information, kind of what we could do, or things like that, let them know what that person does. If there's nothing else, there's another question that's come up on the water fill station, kind of a few questions there. One, what are the options for people to pay? Is it gonna be card only? So it's card only? What are people gonna do that don't have cards? What about people that don't have cards? People that
I don't know anybody who doesn't have a card anymore.
They go down to the Casey's and get a
Prepaid card?
prepaid card.
Now, a lot of the prepaid cards won't work on different places, prepaid ones. I just tried a bunch of them here recently, it didn't work on some stuff.
And what is the
Well,
minimum
okay,
allowed
let's
for
like
fill per-
the current fill station, why is it only people that have points can use it?
I don't
So-
have coins,
There
but
are issues with the coin suspension, because the coin suspension's gonna go bad, somebody's gonna break it open
Right.
with the quarters.
Yeah.
I get it,
Well, and they're not easy to find anymore,
right.
because people are using debit cards.
So, do they have to buy 1,000 gallons? These
No.
people, these
No.
250-gallon tanks?
No.
can-
No, it's, you
That's-
choose how much you want.
What's the minimum amount, do we know?
I don't.
I don't know.
The IBC tow fees, the haul fees are $250, $275 for most of them.
Yeah.
You got some of them, the taller ones are $300, $325, then you got the round ones in the truck are $500 to $1,000, but we don't have a lot of them ones here.
I would think the minimum will be like maybe 50 gallons. Maybe even 25.
And how
Yeah,
do we,
'cause I've seen somebody,
Yeah.
like in campers.
No, I
like,
mean,
they
as
don't
far
have a
as,
small-
like,
yeah,
well, what do you do up here with a quarter gets you how many gallons? 20 gallons or something?
but
Something like that.
who can answer that question for us? Is that something we can configure? or-
Aaron.
that's an Aaron question. So, and then along with that, you're gonna have to come up with a way for the POA to pay.
Well, a debit card.
Oh, that's pay right there.
If it's a card, they got a card they can use.
Is the city gonna pay with cards? I mean.
Yeah, are we gonna charge a fee? We make them use a card, are we gonna charge them 3% fee?
Oh, I get what you're saying. The driver can't go out there and just pay,
Yeah.
right, because they gotta collect from the people. And then
Well, I mean-
once a month.
Well, I don't know why can't the driver pay, and then they already, the person pays the POA, the POA's paying for the water from the person.
But we talked about when we talked to the POA, I mean, we could change it, but we talked to them about giving us that list once a month of who they sold to and then paying
Right.
us once a month.
Cause everybody that turns in a water ticket, they gotta have that information, and then the truck driver just go out and fill the truck up with a card.
Right, so it's 1,000 gallons, I buy 1,000 gallons, I fill
Right.
the truck, and if I only use 250, then I only use 250, and we dump the rest on the road like we always do.
Yeah, the count's gonna be inaccurate like it always is, until
I
the,
don't think because, if you're checking your tank, or you're not checking your tank, you think you need water, I mean, I've seen several times, they've tried to fill somebody's tank, it overflows, and then they go drive down the road and spill water out.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
Right there on the big turn, south.
Well, you
Lee,
get-
there by going to the church, by Jeff and Dennis, that big nasty turn right there, they dump it in the wintertime. That's a jib dandy.
Oh, yeah.
it would, it would benefit if they close the lids, just saying.
I learned early, I watched, pay attention.
So Richard, you're thinking POA pay by the road.
They gotta pay, I mean, I don't know how else to do it for them. I mean, use their,
There's probably solutions that they could punch a code in, and we bill them.
I don't know anything about that
We
machine.
gotta know the customers that they delivered to though.
Yeah.
Right, then we're gonna give us at the end, like, the month, whatever, then we're gonna have that list to give to us and then pay us.
Right, but how are they gonna override the debit card?
I was saying, if, I don't know anything about what's on there, if there's, I don't think, from what I've heard, there's nothing on there yet, and I meant to go take a look, and I forgot to.
There's nothing, there's no pay mechanism.
So, I mean, in theory, you could have the debit card machine, and then you could have like an override code box, that the POA could have code, A, B, C, D,
Well,
whatever. And then it keeps track of what's dispensed, and then bills the POA for what they buy with that code. In theory, that's possible. I don't know what equipment we're talking about getting, if we're talking about doing that or not.
Well,
That's
I think the
possibility.
equipment's already been purchased.
I don't know.
I
So
mean,
that's an Aaron question though?
that's an Aaron question.
I'll ask Aaron and we'll find
I
out.
don't know about the code thing.
Again, it's technically
No.
feasible, whether we
I'm
can
not,
do what we
but
have
is
or
it
not.
feasible?
If,
Because once people that work for the POA tell everyone in the
I
city
said it's
the code.
Yeah.
I said it's
Everybody gets free
technically
water.
feasible. I did not say that it's logical to do. It's technically feasible.
It's just like the code to the gate over here, some people at the church knew about it, and next thing you know, everybody and their brother's coming in,
Well, you would have to have, each driver would have their own code, so driver.
Yeah, I
on
just,
code got-
I'm not with you on that one.
I'm
I'm,
not saying we should do it. I said it's
Nah,
technically feasible. You said,
just,
what else
just
do we do?
let them
That's
get,
something else
let
that
them
could be
get
done.
their own card for each driver or one.
That's the simplest solution,
Oh, yeah.
but that's I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just,
Because last time I talked to the POA, they didn't have a clue what they was gonna charge for their truck and driver.
right.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, so let them do it.
I think that's the best simplest way. But you guys were asking, you didn't know what else there was, so I threw out
No.
another option.
What is that?
Horrible option, but
I mean,
nonetheless.
I didn't say it was a good one, I said it's
I-
technically feasible. There's a difference between technically feasible and logical.
He still has faith in humanity.
I'm a software architect. And you had a question about the hose.
Right, because one they got now that just comes off and then you got where you can hook another hose on. But all these trucks and trailers are all different sizes. Like the one up there, you can crank it up and down and lower it. This one don't got that.
that would
Like
be,
she has a big long haul
that would
service
be
in
it.
Tanglewood.
That would be an Aaron question, cause I don't know
Yeah,
what
I went
comes
down there
with
the
it.
other day 'cause I was like, where is it?
Well, I mean, Aaron may have something else that, or Hettinger may have something else that goes on it that we're not aware of.
Well, you can see where it connects on, you would think it's like a fire hose or something on the pipe that comes down.
So I'll ask Aaron those questions and I'll get the answers out to everybody.
But we got, short trailers that come down, 3 or 4 or 5 feet off the ground.
What else, what other questions do we have that we can add to our list for right now? What have you been getting asked?
Mhm.
What have you been getting asked that we don't know answers to?
I was just making sure so we need the ordinance for what justifies permanent residence?
Yeah. It's in the ordinance we passed that said you had to get on the water system, it's in that.
I think it references that ordinance, I think. I think it said permanent residence is defined in ordinance ABC.
Cause we went through 3 workshops working on that stuff.
That's why you gave me a dirty look, so I'm bringing it up again.
No, I'm ecstatic to go through it again, and again, and again.
Well, I'm trying to make this meeting go longer than the one we were at last night. Okay,
Yeah, 3 hours, and then they said, oh, we already discussed that, let's move
Yeah.
on.
I didn't get an after today, so.
is there anything else we wanna bring up tonight?
So you're gonna get grumpy.
I have a 7-week-old puppy still,
Oh.
so, 5 days in.
Oh, boy.
Boy, I need whiskey.
I
But
can't,
you were here during the time.
I
you
can't
beat her
think
for
of
5
anything.